They're going to go on the hood, but right now I'm going to organize them in the order that they need to be used. Does that make sense? So from left to right, the exact order. So then my brain can really focus on, oh, do I need this one or this one? You see what I mean? It's just going to go boom, 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 just like that on the hood. Okay? So these are all dirty. Can you grab me a Kim wipe right there in that green? Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you, Kim. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take some 70% ethanol, and I'm going to go ahead and just wipe down the neck right here, which is going to kill some of the bacteria. And then I'm going to do that here. This is precaution. Eventually you won't have to do this, but for right now that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that around the edge of this also. We're only going to need to add this one time to the DMEM. This is penicillin streptomycin, and it's totally just like the smallest little fail-safe. Like you get a bacteria or two in there. You're not going to throw your whole thing, but I don't.
So you're going to use this equation because for the unknown, you know the absorbance if you're trying to find the concentration.
Okay.
So when you do the trend,
so that's my order right there, and then. We've got pipetters ready to go.
Once you get the equation, yeah, I can show you.
Now, to make this as close to you doing it as possible, I'm going to do what you tell me to do. Okay? So you're going to tell me. And if you're not sure, then just say so. Okay? Okay, so the UV has already been on in the hood. Coincidentally.
Oh no, you guys are good. Oh yeah, I can see just fine.
Okay, so I'm going to prep my area.
With ethanol.
Even though I already hit it with the UV, I want to be extra careful. Alright, so the first thing I need to do is I probably actually need to prepare this and get this fully ready. So I'm going to switch spots like this, so I know I'm going to work from left to right. Alright, so I don't want you using this yet until you get more comfortable with your manual dexterity. Alright, so I'm going to take this and put it in there. I'm going to grab a couple different, so you have to really be careful about moving with these.
What are they called?
These are 1 ml pipettes, so they're really small on the inside, and the liquid will come up really quickly. In order to be able to do something with the pipettes, you don't ever open from the end where the point is, always from this end, and you just do that. Okay, then pull this out, and then pull it out quick so it doesn't touch anything else. Now the key is to keep an eye, and you're going to have 2 people in the hood at one time, okay? One of you has always got to know where the tip is, because if it touches anything, you can't use it. Okay, so we're going to push this in and twist it counterclockwise. Remember how we used our hands in different ways before? So we're going to have to pop the top on this, just a little bit. Now keep in mind that I just touched the inside of that neck, and we assume that my hands are not clean. So I'm going to have to be careful and really just get in and slowly draw up that liquid. And my garbage will go right here. Now I bring this right in front of me so I'm not reaching all over the place. I'm going to use my hands like we did before. I'm going to loosen that top up, and when I pull it up, my fingers cannot touch the part that the cap covers or the inside of the cap. Okay, so I'm going to lift it up like this, and then without touching the neck, I'm going to shoot that liquid right in there, cap right back on. Notice how I didn't move the cap all over the place. It was just lift, put it in, put it right back on. Okay? All right, so this now has penicillin and streptomycin. We need...
Yeah. I've never been one of the iPhoneers yet.
So the things that we write on here are the cell type. So these are C2, C12 cells. The date, what's the date? 18?
19.
6/19. And my initials or whatever your team name is. I also will add to the flasks one other piece of information, but we'll talk about that later. Nobody should touch my media, just like I should never use your media. So never use anybody else's, because if they have a mess up with theirs, then you're going to spread it to yours. Okay? And I use a little plus on the end to indicate that it's complete DMEM and has FBS in it, so that's how I designate that. All right, so we're done with that part. All right, so are we done with our DMEM and it's ready to go? It's ready? Okay, so I'm going to reorder these in the order that I want to use them in. One here, and one there. Okay, but we won't worry about this till after. Okay, questions? Okay, what's next? Am I ready for cells? I think so. All right, so Ben, why don't you go and grab them? Bottom incubator.
Whole process.
Push and twist. There you go. We're here. Notice the media is starting to get orange. Is it time to change it? Very much so. All right, so we're going to keep them flat so that the media stays on the cells and they don't get dehydrated. Okay? Now what? Before we wash it, what do we have to do?
Remove the old.
We have to what?
Take out the old.
We got to get rid of the old media. So to do that, we need a pasture pipette. These little skinny glass ones. So we're going to go ahead and use this one. We're going to pull this out. Again, watch the tip. And then we're going to use this vacuum tube, which is not on yet. And we're going to just plug it right into the end of this, just like that. So we hold it like a pencil. We grab this just like we were learning before, paying very close attention to where the cap goes. We're going to lift it up, and cap goes immediately right back on. Okay?
Wow.
Now, are we on a timer?
Yes.
Cells can get dehydrated pretty quickly. Are we going to panic?
Nope.
No, we are not. Okay, so you're like, speak for yourself. All right, what's my next step?
Add the.
We have to wash them, exactly. So what size pipette should I use for that? 5 mil. Excellent. See how simple? We just go left to right, very orderly. I'm just going to put that in there.
No, you're good.
Go all up.
I go
It
around.
doesn't have to be exact. We're going to just do a couple mils. Set it off to the side. Now what do I do?
Put it in.
I add the liquid. What's my number one priority right now?
Don't
No
touch.
contamination. So I know where the tip is. I know where my fingers are. I know what they should and should not touch. So I'm here. I add that in. Cap goes right back on. And I'm going to wash the cells. Okay. I'm going to let that sit for just a second because I want you to be able to see for a second.
The washing, it just has to be at the nose.
there's not a lot of flames in the foreground, like your cells that are kind of more dead. And so you can see most of those are really stuck out there. Does that make sense? Alright, so let's go back. And what's our next step?
The next step is resuspending. Yeah?
Alright, we can't get them off there. So we got that's the next thing we do. Before we do that, anything else we need to do? Do you want to add the trypsin with all that PBS in there? You gotta get it out, otherwise it'll get too diluted.
Oh, remove again.
Now what? Is there any problem with this pipette?
It's been used.
It hasn't been.
Oh.
We haven't used it yet. And has it touched anything else?
Oh,
It
yes.
hasn't touched anything, so we're okay.
Oh.
Alright, so we're gonna pop the top on this.
Oh.
I can't see.
So now I do want to move it around a little bit because it's not a very big volume. It doesn't need to be, but so it's going to take at least 5 minutes, but we need to check it periodically. So just so you can see how the enzyme works, let's go ahead and go over to the scope and take a look. So now it's an enzyme, right? And I want to speed it up. So how do I do that? Speed it up. Exactly. Good answers.
Right?
So we want to let it go for maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll bring it back over on the scope, and we'll see how many more of them have lifted off. Remember, we want to capture all of those cells at this point because we've already washed off all the dead ones. Right, so now we really want to capture those cells. So we're about 12 minutes from being done. So not too bad. It really helps that you know the steps already and you really pay attention to that, so that's really helpful. Can somebody time for me, how much time?
It just turned to the 8.
Okay, can you give me 2 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in the meantime, we don't want to have a lot of unused downtime. For right now, we want to be really mindful because if we let them go too long, we know the trips is going to do, so we want to be careful about that. When we do the centrifuge, we're going to have about 6 or 7 minutes of downtime. And in that time, we can get our new flasks and get them labeled and get them lined up and get them ready to go. We've got to make sure we have enough DMEM to be able to add that 4 back to each one. Right? We already know how many flasks we're going to split into, so we're going to need 5 new flasks. So we're going to do a 1 to 5 split. And you'll see how big the pellet is once we spin it down. It'll be pretty big because there's a lot of cells in there. Okay? How we do it?
It's been 1 minute.
So can you see stuff coming off?
Oh yeah.
Those are cells that are sloughing off. So we know it's happening because we can see it. Some people are like, wow, there's a lot of fingerprints on it. But those are cells. Okay, so let's go take a look and just kind of... So you know what they looked like a second ago?
Whoa.
And now here's what they look like.
That's
See?
insane.
So so the proteins that are anchoring them down are getting cut with the trypsin, and they're starting to spring back. Right? So one way to be able to speed this up a little bit too is to flip the bottom, just have a little bit of shock on it.
It's been 2 minutes.
So we really don't have a ton still stuck on there, but we probably need another minute or two.
It's moving. So cool.
There you go. You can see that, so the cells are, they're hydrophobic on the outside, right? So they tend to clump together when they're being cut off, right? So you can see this kind of long chain of cells that are kind of just stuck. You put them back in for maybe, let's just get final confirmation. Normally later you're going to be like, oh, 3 minutes, we're good. Because each batch of trypsin can kind of react a little differently sometimes. Okay. Cells for they're all kind of just stuck together. Okay, so you can see some that are off and some that are still a little bit stuck. So I'm gonna just, that's my little trick. We're gonna have more than enough cells, so it doesn't really matter. But so now you can see, just flicking it a little bit, kind of just shook it a little bit loose. And that whole raft is forming. It's different, right, when you hear about it versus actually seeing, like, oh, okay, that's what's happening. All right, let's go. Remember, we're on a timer.
Plunge. Oh, I don't care. It's all the same. It's more of a reminder anyway. Oh yeah, we feed the trypsin.
Because I have a lot of cells, I'm going to put in a
Right,
little bit more media than I normally would. Normally you only need like a mil of media, but I'm going to put in a little bit more. So now we can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief, right? Okay, so can I reuse this pipette? Think about it. What has it touched so far? Only DMEM. Can I go back in here and pull my cells and DMEM out? Sure could, yeah, because it hasn't touched anything. So I can absolutely do that. If you have any questions at all in your mind, don't do that. But I feel pretty good about that. So let's go ahead and do that. And if you really feel like it, you can kind of just have a jet on the back wall and kind of get the rest of the cells down in there. Again, I'm watching where my cat is. And now I don't care about the flask at all. I only care about my cells in the pipette. So I'm always very aware of where my cells are at any given moment. Careful here as well. Get all my materials in there. Okay. Now the pressure is off just a little bit. All right. How many mils are in there? Can you see? Okay, a little over 5. So the meniscus is down on the bottom of 5, right? So 5 is good. So why don't you go ahead and load the centrifuge for me?
Shouldn't there be another one across from it?
You sure do. That's a counterbalance.
About the same.
And all of those come from in there. So find one that's kind of close. You can always add water or take it away, either one. should be able to find one that's kind of close. That'll do. That's perfect. Actually. That's exactly where you should put it. So go ahead and close it. And now the top dial is minutes. Go ahead and put it to 6 minutes.
I labeled some of them, so
There you
they
go. And now we let it run. So since we want to be efficient with our time, what should we do now?
Label the flasks. Get flasks.
We can label flasks, but maybe even before then, do I have a little bit of a mess? Maybe I clean it up a little bit.